Hi, welcome back. So we're now on the last section of our video course, and in this section we will be discussing the different best practices that can enhance productivity within your Salesforce.com implementations. So in the first video of this section, we will be discussing how to create custom settings within Salesforce. When configuring Salesforce.com, we would encounter situations when we are reusing certain static data within different formulas or even custom code. Things like sales stacks, percentages, commission rates, or even the number of response days for SLAs are examples of static data. So to maintain these values more efficiently, we can create custom settings in Salesforce, which are just like custom objects, but it holds static data that can only be changed by administrators. Additionally, these settings also allow for a different set of values based on the user's profile. So for this example, we will be creating a custom setting object that will hold standard discount rates for our organization. This object can help our organization with having one central repository for all standard discount rates used in the different formulas in Salesforce. This could either be in formula fields, validation rules, or default values. This saves time since we will only be updating one setting instead of going in and manually updating the different formulas. So first in the process is creating and setting up the actual custom setting object. Next would be to create the different fields in that custom setting object. Lastly, we will be discussing how to manage the actual set of values within that custom setting and how to create multiple data sets for different custom setting values for different user profiles. So to start off, we will be creating our custom setting object. So let's just go to our setup menu. Let's go first to develop and click on custom settings. Let's just click on new to start creating our first custom setting object. So first off, let's say Mojo standard percentages. So our custom setting object can hold any of the standard percentages like discount rates, GST taxes, GST discounts, or GST offsets. So for now, let's just enter standard rates as the object name. Next, let's select a setting type. There are two available setting types for our custom setting. We have hierarchy and list. List types provides a reusable list of static data. So for example, country codes, list of currencies, list of available countries. These are all examples of list type static data. Next, we also have hierarchy, which is a lot more feature based. It provides a different set of settings configurable for each profile. So for our example, we would need the ability to specify different discount values for each profile. So therefore, we will be using hierarchy. Next, let's select protected as a visibility. So visibility only affects custom settings that are deployed on other environments as part of an application. So in case we are building an application in the app extension, we are using a custom setting. Protected means that this setting will be protected from the current user's jurisdiction. Let's just click on save. Finalize our custom setting object. So that's it. So after creating our custom setting object, we can now add a field to that object. So let's just click on new to create our first custom setting field. So first, let's select the field type. So there are a list of currently available field types for the custom setting field. We have checkboxes, currencies, dates, date times, email, number, percent, phone, text area, and URL. So for our first field, we're going to create percent. So let's click on next. For the field label, let's just enter standard discount rate. Click on that and select our length, which is 15, up to 3 decimal places. For the field name, let's just retain the field name generated by Salesforce. Let's make it required and click on next. So this is just basically an overview of what we created, and then let's just click save to confirm our changes. So once the custom settings are finalized, we can start entering our setting data on the new custom setting object. So to start off, let's just go to the custom setting and click on manage. So as you may have seen, custom setting is just basically another custom object. However, it's only applicable for administrators and can be only modified by administrators or any user, but only if they have a system administrator profile. So from here, you can either select new under default organization level value, which would create a default value for all organizations exclusive of whatever profile they're in. So for example, if we enter 5% as a standard discount, this means that all users under Mojo Electronics, regardless of the profile, will have access to 5% standard discount. So, for example, if we use the standard discount field in any custom formula field, and any type of user just goes into that, let's say, opportunity object, they will only have access to the 5% standard discount rate. So let's just go back to the list to show you another option. However, if you want to maintain exceptions to the rule, for example, if you want to create a new custom setting, however, specific to the user, for example, let's say Mike Murphy, and enter a standard discount rate of 20%. This means that Mike Murphy will have access to a standard discount rate outside of the universal discount rate available for all employees of Mojo, which is 5%. Just go back to the list and create another exception. So aside from that, we can also create another exception based on the profile. So for example, let's select international sales and enter a standard discount rate of 15. Go back to the list. So that means that for all users with the profile of international sales, when they access any formula field using the standard discount percentage, they will get 15% since they are part of that profile, except if they're Mike Murphy, which have their own set of custom settings. So as with anything else, the hierarchy of what custom setting is applicable is based on one being the default organization level value. However, if you have a profile level sort of custom setting, that will take precedence over any default organization value. And then lastly, if you have a specific user custom setting value, then that will take precedence over everything else. So that's it. As you may have seen, using custom settings, we can specify and hold static data which can be reused across the system. With only a single point of entry to maintain, we can ensure correctness of data across the system, especially for critical values like tax rates, discounts, or even standard response times for cases or inquiries. Additionally, we can also create overrides for validation rules or workflows and store them in custom settings. So in the next video, we'll be discussing how to work with the translation workbench in Salesforce.